Where is that child? Where is that daughter of hers? Because a person who thinks that way, period. I don't care. A person who thinks that way. You're a child with an imagination and you're playing with Barbies. Your Barbies are not saying like, I want to get a collar and I'm going to have my daughter lose to my husband. No, you're not. No, you're not saying that. You're not saying that.
Just coast. Just coast.
Just coast. Just coast. Just coast. Just coast.
Welcome to the show.
This video discusses serious allegations, violent events, and other mature themes. Some viewers may find this material upsetting. Viewer discretion is advised.
I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hour. Sex. Lots and lots of sex, like wherever, whenever. That would be fun. And I don't care if it's in public. I don't care if it's in private. I don't care who's watching, as long as we do it. And kissing, the wetter the better. Kissing definitely sounds good to me.
How old are you? You're 1? And where's your cranial? Very good. And where's your findali? Yes. Very, very good.
Give me that big smile now so I can see just your face.
I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hour.
Protect our children from the outside world, because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're gonna protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people. That's whenever we break out the handcuffs and rope. If we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you, because you are the master of the household. And I think that's the way it should be. And I think that's the way it should be. If we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you. And I think that's the way it should be. I am determined to get it, and I will get it. Protect our children from the outside.
I may or may not be having a minty bee, but I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. Just wanted to let you know why I look so frazzled, why I am so frazzled, not to mention what we're about to watch has gotten me frazzled. If you have some sort of a strap or an ace bandage that you can wrap around your face, I recommend that you go get it now, because what we're about to watch is literally going to make your jaw fall off your face. I've been in a mental spiral ever since I saw this yesterday morning, and I can't get out of it. I think it traumatized me a little bit. Let's just watch.
Simona, your slave forever and ever. Today is our happy 1-year anniversary. And I'm so excited. This past year has been amazing. It has been the most adventurous, wild, almost kind of like story almost, because things like this usually only happen in books. Well, as you can see, I changed my hair color, but I hope you like it. And I'm wearing my favorite color plus your favorite color, black. And well, they are vampire colors, so And what makes us so unique from other couples is that you and me have a vampire and human relationship, which I would think vampires would want to date other vampires, but I'm quite lucky that you want me. And I know that there are probably female vampires out there, but I'm very happy that you want me. Being with you has made me almost feel like a new person. When I met you, I felt, that's him, that's my soulmate. To be honest, the way I view us is kind of like twins. Because you might know, since you're very wise, that twins, if one of them gets cut, let's say that one of them like cuts their finger, the other twin will feel it and be like, that's weird, I didn't cut my finger. But then they'll talk to their other twin or whatever, and their other twin might not even know it, but their finger got cut. And, the other twin will feel it. And that's how I consider us almost, is that even though we're so far apart, if one of us is hurting, the other will hurt. And so if like you hurt, I'll hurt. And it's hard being away from your soulmate because it feels like you don't know what's happening to them in that moment, but then when you know that they're all right, your mind is at ease and you just feel a whole lot better. And I feel like I'm linked to you, mind, body, and soul. So, and I think that's the way it should be. I think that we've been open and honest with each other about our feelings and about every day-to-day life. And I know I've made some mistakes. I'll admit it, I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times. And like recently, me and Gypsy forgot the password for our Facebook. And we just changed it without even telling you or asking you if it's okay. And that was a bad move on our part. It's not fully my fault and it's not fully her fault. It's both our fault. And so now we know before we do anything, ask you. Because you are our master. You are responsible for us. We are y'all bitches, I guess. Because you're in charge of everything and you have complete control over us. Our health. You're responsible for everything. Our health, our safety, our happiness, just everything. And I'm really grateful to you for being my master and protecting us and making sure we're healthy and safe and happy. And everything that you've done is to make us be stronger women and make us the women that we know we can be. And it's your dream woman. And that's what we want to be. And it's inside us. You just bring that out in us. Now, the topic I want to talk about most with you is my feelings for you. And they're not only just grateful feelings for protecting us and loving us and making sure that we're healthy and happy and safe, but it's also a feeling of contentment and this love that I can only describe, and it would sound like a book. It would sound, not real, because love like ours is very, very rare. And my feelings for you is that I'm your slave. So my sole purpose is to please you and to love you and to keep you content and keep you happy and be the woman that you dream of having. And if you need anything, that I'll be there for you, whether it's emotional support or if it's a sexual desire, like to fulfill that desire, I'm here for you. And I'm here for you also if you need someone to sort of talk to if you're angry about something, and maybe I can calm you down, whether that be talking to you or seducing you to make you happier about whatever's making you angry. So, and I'm not only just your slave, but I'm also your queen. Or at least I'm gonna be as soon as we get married, which I'm so happy because one day, that's something that we thought of this year, is that one day we are gonna have a vampire wedding. So we're gonna go all out into the tradition of having a vampire wedding. And we're gonna do it somewhere that it's very pretty but very isolated, because I want it to be just a private, just you and me and maybe Ricky and Allie, but that would be the only guest. And that night we would have the most awesome, amazing wedding night ever. And that's whenever we break out the handcuffs and rope and chains. It would be all about you and me just completely entwined within each other and just completely letting out how we feel about each other in one time span of doing it all. You know, so we'd be having not only sex, but we'd be making love as vampire and human, as well as master and slave. So it would be a very special moment for us. So that's something I'm very looking forward to. Also, my dress will be very pretty. It's going to be a nice, beautiful red, with maybe some black accents to it. And maybe I can carry some red roses with, I know these don't really exist in real life, but black roses. I know they're not real flowers, but I can get them plastic. So I'll have red roses, a bouquet of red roses with black roses, black plastic roses. So that'll be very pretty. And so that's something that I cannot wait for. But I will wait till we have that perfect time in our life. Also, as your slave, I want you to know that I'm working very, very hard to become something very special called the seductress mother of the household. And right now I'm working to get my white collar. So there are color collars to gain up to that royal collar, which I can only get whenever we get married and I've completed my whole training. So, but I'm gonna get it. I am determined to get it, and I will get it. It's just a matter of when. So I had this vision. Well, Gypsy had this vision about me and you, and you were sitting on kind of like a throne. You had a black shirt and black pants, and I was right by your side, like right here, by your legs, and you had me on a chain, but I had my royal collar with a chain, and you had the chain in your hand, and we were just in a room full of people. I don't know, the dream doesn't have a lot of explanations or whatever, but that's all she saw, was that I was the seductress mother and your queen and your slave. right by you, serving you, and being there if you need me. So, I guess it will come true one day. If she had that vision, it'll come true. And you said that Nick had a similar vision, so one day it will happen. And our future together will be a bright one. I know that we want, hopefully, lots of children. And after we get married, we're gonna try and start right away, I hope. And the plan for if we have a boy first, we're gonna protect him and protect our children from the outside world, because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're gonna protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people, and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping them a secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is, if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you, because you are the master of the household. So I'm going to have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13, I'll explain. And also, if you ever need someone to, I guess, feed off of, but not obviously, you know that I'll always give you my blood. You know that if you're ever weak, or if you're ever so weak that, you know, you can't move, or you're just really, really sick, don't worry. I'll give you my neck anytime you need. It is always yours, just as I am always yours. So I'm your woman, I'm your slave, and I'm proud to be. So, happy anniversary, my amazing, wonderful master. And I look forward to many, many, many more of anniversaries and birthdays, and just so many happy, romantic, sexy things to look forward to. So, happy anniversary, my darling master. I love and adore you so much. And I'm always dreaming and thinking about you. Lose her virginity to you. Hello, Sir Black One. It is Demona, and I am making you this video upon your command. And I am basically wanting to explain who I am and what I can do and who I can be. Well, as you know, I have the spirit of a dog. My former self was a dog, but now I'm inside. I have the spirit of a dog, but I'm in human form because I share a body with Gypsy, who is like a sister to me. So now that you're caught up, okay, where to begin? Well, to pick up where we left off on the topic that we were on, I am a slut, but I do have an evil streak. I can torture somebody. I can do anything except a few things, which is I can't hurt Gypsy's mother. Like, I can't physically harm her. And I can't Nick, because those two people are off limits. I'll take whatever punishment you may give me, but I can't. I just can't. If you want to beat me, beat me. If you want to hurt me, but just don't hurt Nick, don't hurt Gypsy, and I can't hurt Gypsy's mother. But besides those things, I'm limitless of what I can do. I can steal, I can torture, I could kill, just not those people. I sometimes like to drink. And I really, really, really like being naughty, as far as sexually naughty. That's one of the things that I'm best at. So that's kind of like what I'm wanting to talk to you about, is that I can be really, really, really sexual sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. I overwhelm Nick. So, that is something you might want to know, but I know that you are kind of the same way, so that's a good thing. And I wanted to talk to you about proving myself to you. If I can't prove myself to you that by doing evil, I'll prove to you by doing stuff to Nick. And one of the things that I can do is him. And which is basically taking him by force, actually holding him down, and having my way with him. Because sometimes, you probably know this yourself, but you don't want any chit chat. You just in there, and you don't want to have any questions asked. So that would be fun for me. It would be fun to kind of be the dominant one, because I'm usually always the submissive one. So it would be nice to kind of expand and sort of try my hand out being the dominant one. And as far as evil things that I can do, I can also, one of my skills, it's not really evil, it's just bad, is stealing. And that's the thing that I'm best at, along with being seductive. Those two things I'm best at. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Well, do you know what a barcode is? I bet you do. It's on every item at the grocery store, or every sold item. It looks like this. Well, take for example a store like Walmart. If you're at Walmart, they do have those you walk through. Well, anyway, if you put the barcode this way down, facing towards the floor, and go through the detectors, it won't go off. If it's this way, or this way, it will go off. But if it's facing down, that means the scanners won't detect it. That's just one tip. But a lot of these things that are for stealing requires a two-person job. And so take, for example, at Sam's Club. They have these huge buggies. So say if I was to get inside the buggy and you push the buggy and just make up a story like I'm your handicapped sister or whatever, and you just put me in the buggy because I'm small for my age. So I can easily look 12 or 13 to make it easier. And so here we are going down the aisles, and I always like to have something put on top of me, something big like a pillow or something, so the camera won't catch what I'm doing. And I'll probably have a dress or something on, and I just take like movies, DVDs, and I just slip them under my dress, and we might buy like a soda or just some cheap item to say we bought something, and then we just went, there we go, got a bunch of DVDs. Let's see what else. I also promised you, I made a deal with you that I would get you money, and I will stay true to that deal. There are plenty of ways to make money. I could go as far as even to go to a bar and, a guy might ask, hey, you want to have sex with me and I'll give you money for it? And I might say, sure, yeah. And go with him, and then maybe drug him or whack him over the head with a bottle, take his wallet. But we have to play it smart. You know, we have to be very careful what we do as a team and what I do, because it does take skill to not get caught. And so it's very important. We have to keep remembering that. As far as rating Nick, there are lots of ways I can do that. I can tie him to a chair. I could tie him to a bed. I can tie him to anything and have my way with him that way. But I promise, if you tell me to do it a certain way, I will do it the way that you want me to. And no questions asked. So, yeah, we could do that. And I think it might be fun for both of us. So, maybe you can come out and watch. It's an idea. What else? I think that we would just make a really good bad couple. You know, we could be partners in crime. I know that your soulmate's not me, unfortunately. It's your sister, your only sister. But even though I might not be your soulmate, I just want you to know that I really want you to love me because I've fallen in love with you. I kind of have an attraction to bad boys, which I'm pretty sure you already knew that. I can't help it. I don't know. Bad boys just attract me. Got a thing for them. You were just downright bad. Evil. So, that's really hot. What else? I think that you and I could be great partners. Be great lovers in evil. And I think that while we have this opportunity, take it. You know, life's far too short not to have fun. But know that I'll always respect you. And now that I love you, I won't betray you. I don't betray people that I love. I form an alliance sort of with them and a loyalty to them. And that's something that I don't break. So as bad as I am, I still have a sense of loyalty, a sense of love, and I know that you sense that I have a heart. I do have a heart, and I was a really, really bad girl at one time, and Master Victor tamed me down a bit, and he showed me how to be respectful and how to control myself and how to have self-control over my urges and stuff. So I'm probably not as bad as I used to be, but I'd like to be let off the leash a little bit and kind of run free with someone like you, or you know, you. I want to run free with you. And I don't want to hold back my feelings. I don't want to hold back who I am. So yeah, we'd be very, very good at being bad together.
Right now, I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
Come through in the mini skirt, no bra, no panties, no time to flirt.
So she talks about how she can prove herself by killing, graping, stealing, and having lots of sex. That's just the bottom of the barrel. Let's not forget, this person who we are watching in these videos is, according to the public, a dying, sick, little abused girl who's in a wheelchair and is incapable of doing anything because she has so many medical problems. I now firmly believe, in my personal opinion, that Dee Dee Blanchard did not abuse her. Let me just say something really quickly. Okay, I grew up as an only child with an abusive mother. Now, she didn't tell people I had weird medical ailments that I didn't have, and I wasn't forced into a wheelchair, but it was real abuse. I was literally groomed to feel unworthy, I was groomed to be unsocial, I was groomed to isolate, and I was groomed to have no self-esteem. That's how she wanted me to be. It was lots of physical, mental, and psychological abuse. I literally didn't have anybody because my mom wouldn't let me talk to her. She wouldn't let me say anything ever. I wasn't allowed to ask her any questions. I wasn't allowed to talk about my feelings. I wasn't allowed to have a voice or an opinion or anything. I wasn't even allowed to be around her. I was always told to be in my room alone. So I'm very good at being alone in my room. I'm horrible when it comes to being social. There's a lot more that goes into it. If we want to get into it sometime, I have no problem talking about it. And by no means am I a victim. I will never consider myself a victim. My point is that this person on this video is not an abused child. She's not. She is a con artist, a very, very good con artist. She's probably the best con artist. She is a professional liar and con artist. I do believe, and it may be considered a form of abuse, I do believe that Dee Dee did teach her how to do all of those things. They were living a life of luxury. Now, their version of a life of luxury is different than what you may consider a life of luxury. But if you look at all the crime scene photos, which I have in my video, their home was... Gypsy's bedroom is not the bedroom of an abused child. I watch tons of true crime. I watch tons of documentaries. And unfortunately, I see a lot about child abuse. This child, Gypsy, that's not a child. First of all, I think she's 21 in those videos. She is a nymphomaniac, a thief, and a very good liar. I think the comparison I was making between me and her as like someone who I know was abused for a fact didn't make me a bad person, though. I never, ever had thoughts like she's having. What is she talking about with the kids and the marriage and the collars? I want to throw up. I cannot stop. My body will not stop having the chills. I am so disturbed by this. Okay. Her story all along, if you watch, this is why I went back and watched all those documentaries last night. So in her version of it is that, and I firmly believe that every single thing that she ever, not that I didn't ever believe that she was telling the truth, but I just never cared about it as much as I do right now because it's so beyond. Like when my mom died, I found out how much of a liar she was because I always wondered why I was always like up to here with her all the time. Like it didn't take much for me to like be sent over the edge with her. And it's because like I am not a fake person. I don't lie. It's just it's not natural for me. I don't like fake people. I'm not fake. I will never be fake. And it's really, I can sense it very easily in others. And so you don't grow up thinking my mom's a liar. Of course not. Who thinks that, right? So I never thought about my mom being a liar, but I always had this like feeling about her that like I was always like so irritated with her for what I thought was like no reason at all. But after she died and I found out the whole entire time she was alive, she was lying to me about so many things. That makes sense. That's why I was always up to here with her because I didn't know she was lying to me, but I knew she was lying to me. Like my intuition knew was reading something is off. And I was always irritated because I hate fake people. Okay. My thoughts are going to go all over the place because I'm very wound up about this. Okay. So her version, Gypsy's version, this whole entire time is that she used to, her mom made her sleep in the bed with her, okay? And that the only time she got to use the internet was when her mom would fall asleep. She would sneak out of the bed and she would go online and be online all night long. Bitch, please. You know your mom had a laptop. You know that you were allowed to use it. You know you probably had rules like every other kid because I'm sorry, both of those videos look like they were being filmed in the middle of the day. You were speaking loudly. You were not holding anything back. That was natural sunlight. In that second video, for sure, that's natural sunlight coming through a window. You can't tell me it's not. I know what natural sunlight looks like. I am an old woman. I have been on this earth. I know what that was natural. And she's just speaking. What abused child has access to all kinds of wigs, lingerie, knows how to steal like better than the criminals that we watch on body cam footage. What abused child is living that life? None. Abused children are either being manipulated and held hostage against their will, mentally and physically, or they are being tortured, or they are being like they don't have anything and they're being neglected and left to starve to death or whatever in their rooms, and their rooms are covered in poop on the walls. You know what I mean? If you look at her wheelchairs, okay, I was in an accident about 5 years ago where I was in a wheelchair for a year, and I went through a couple of different wheelchairs because I went from one that someone gave me to get out of the hospital, and then after that someone gave me another one, a little bit newer, but it was still old and heavy, to where like I was going to be in the wheelchair for so long that like I needed to get a different wheelchair. So I found one online that was like $25. It was a smoking deal for this little lightweight one that normally costs like $600. I know how much wheelchairs cost. That bitch had purple anodized wheelchair with an embroidered, with her name embroidered on the back. Girl, please give me a break. So I think she's just sick in the head. She was taught to do crime by her mother, probably because mother liked to work the system. But she took it to a whole other level because she's just an evil person. If you didn't notice, in all of those videos, especially the one in the red top, it's so obvious, to me at least, that she is literally just grooming Nicholas Godejohn and setting up an alibi by all the things. I mean, it's so transparent, especially with the information we know now. Obviously, it's a lot more transparent, but my mind is right now. It's crazy. So those are the only notes I have, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you a video right now. And I just, because I was trying to get some more clips to put in the video, because, I get all dramatic about it. Like I could just like post like a news topic video, but I can't do it. Like I'm a music producer. Like I have to make everything all dramatic. So, I was online trying to find some clips, and I ended up finding this one, and I'm going to show it to you now. And I want you to tell me that is a mother and daughter who have an abusive relationship. Can I just tell you something before we watch it? Or maybe I should tell you after. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you. You will never, ever find a video of me and my mom laughing and having a good time. Ever. Because it never happened. Not only was I not allowed to be in her presence, I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to speak. I wasn't allowed to ask questions. I wasn't allowed to like tell her how I feel or ask about what I've got going on. Everything I did and everything I thought, I was alone, and I had to internalize it in my mind and like psychoanalyze everything, to where she grew me to be afraid to even communicate with others outside of my house, because I don't know, she's just out of her mind. The only pictures that you will ever see of my mother and I would be if we went like to go visit our family for a holiday or something, or for some event, and it would be like, a big, huge family group picture. And in the picture, I can guarantee you I'll be crying, because for some reason, my mother, who was a big, dramatic, fake scene, would grab me right before the picture was taken, and she would grab my arm and she would dig her nails into my arm as hard as she could. And I would be crying in every single time, for no reason at all, just because I wasn't doing what she wanted me to be doing or standing the way she wanted me to be standing. And she would just, right before the picture was taken, she would just dig her claws right into my arm. If there was a picture of me when I was little smiling, it was taken by someone else. Like if I went to go visit she used to send me from the age of 5. I would fly by myself all the way to Kentucky to spend the whole entire summer with my grandparents. They have a couple of pictures of me 3,000 miles away from my mother on my roller skates smiling. That's it. So I'm going to show you a video now, and I want you to tell me what you think, what kind of a relationship these MFers had. Read the caption.
Cha-cha. Amazing, because I don't know this dance. I don't know this dance.
Gypsy putting on her Cajun accent.
What are you doing? Ow! Wow, that was really loud. Gotta remember, we're not at Illusion Con.
Catch says at the bottom, back at the hotel with the amazing dancing mama. You would never have heard me calling my mother that ever in my life. My mother had nothing but hatred towards me. I would never have said anything like that because that would have been super not true and fake. Tell me that video is an abused daughter with an abusive mother. It's not. It's not. Now I have the chills all over again. I can't, I want to make this video so long and show you all my points, but it's like, you know, Gypsy's got to be just hiding. So I'm probably going to forget to say a lot of things, but I just, where is that child? Where is that daughter of hers? Because a person who thinks that way, period. I don't care. A person who thinks that way. You're a child with an imagination and you're playing with Barbies. Your Barbies are not saying like, I want to get a collar and I'm going to have my daughter lose to my husband. No, you're not. No, you're not saying that. You're not saying that. You're a sick, fucking, foul person. And only sick, foul people think that. You're still a sick, foul person. You just dress up better. You just look better. You just got a nose job. You just have the money to make yourself appear better to continue with your scheme. And actually in this one documentary where they showed, because allegedly, I don't think any of it is true. I think Gypsy literally made up everything. Every word out of Gypsy's mouth was just a narrative to guide you for some sort of like an alibi. It was a preemptive way to like, clear her name before anything happened because she already knows she's going to commit crime because that's all she does is fucking commit crime and lie. But they showed a picture of her grandpa who allegedly R-worded her. And in the documentary about her, the real grandpa was in it and said, that is not true. Gypsy made that shit up. She actually used to touch me. Now, hold on, because I know who would say that about a child. Who would say that about a child? And if this were a normal situation, I'd be like, what are you talking about, you weirdo? Who says that? Ooh, I got the chills so bad. This is how I know it's true. This is how I know. Ooh, the hairs on my body want to just come off. Her grandpa looks just like Ken Urker, her Aurora's dad. It's wild. And Ryan kind of looks like her mom. Anyway, in no situation would you ever hear me agree, oh yeah, that child probably was touching you. No, that's a sick person saying that. Nope, I fully believe it here. In my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion. It's not saying anything is true. Obviously, I don't know them. I was not there. But this would be the only time that I would be like, yep, after all this came out today, yep, she probably was. She probably was touching you. She probably was. And that's horrible to think, but is it with her? Is it? I gotta go. I'm so bothered right now. Like it's got me wound up. I hope you liked the video. Peace.
I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hour.
coast.
Will he come to the show?